Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. And I figured this time I'd do a movie review. I haven't done a movie review in quite a while. I've been mainly doing, the tag response videos, which are a lot of fun. I've been doing the list videos, top 10s, top 20s, things like that. But I haven't done a movie review in a while. And I still plan on doing a lot more reviews on this channel, and I also plan on doing all the other kinds of videos, top 10s, top 20s, and things like that. But I want to review a couple more films, and this is one of the films I wanted to talk about today for today's movie review. And this film right here gets crapped on so much. I don't understand why. It's very, very underrated. I just don't understand the hate that this film gets, and I'm one of the only few people that like this film. I know that Lisa Loves really likes this film, and another guy I saw on YouTube, I forget his YouTuber name, but I know he likes the film too. So we're the only three people that like this film, as far as I know. So, but I find this film very underrated, and of course you can tell by the title that review is going to be on this film, The Watcher. Now, The Watcher was released in the year 2000, and you can tell on the cover you have James Spader in the film, you have Marisa Tomei, you have Keanu Reeves, and you have a little appearance by Ernie Hudson as well. And the film, it's a very simple story. Basically, you have James Spader's character is an FBI agent named Joel Campbell, who is basically on this case of this killer who's been going on a rampage, and basically, the killer is David Alan Griffin, played by Keanu Reeves, and basically what ends up happening is that it's in Los Angeles in the very beginning, and James Spader's character was never able to solve the case. He was never able to capture David Alan Griffin. Basically, they were never able to catch him. So basically, James Spader ends up quitting the FBI, and he moves to Chicago to get away from the FBI and things like that. And what ends up happening one day is James Spader gets a letter from David Alan Griffin, and he realizes that David Alan Griffin has followed him to Chicago, and then basically it becomes a cat and mouse game between Keanu Reeves and James Spader. And at the same time, you have James Spader seeing Marisa Tomei's character, who's a psychiatrist. And it comes to this whole point where Keanu Reeves ends up capturing Marisa Tomei, and James Spader has to go save her, and the whole finale and things like that. It's a really cool flick. That's basically what the entire film is about. Now, getting onto the film, I really do enjoy the cast. James Spader as the FBI agent Joel Campbell, as a good guy for once. James Spader hardly ever plays a good guy. It's one of the only few times that he plays a hero. Because because James Spader always plays villains in movies, and he does a really great job of playing villains. The New Kids, Avengers: Age of Ultron, and a lot of other stuff. But this is one of the few films that James Spader got to play a good guy, and I think he does a really great job as the good guy. It was a different kind of role to see James Spader do. I think he does a great job as the hero. I really do like James Spader in this film. You have Marisa Tomei as the psychiatrist that James Spader is seeing, and she does a fine job as well. And then you get on to Keanu Reeves' character as the killer, as the villain. Keanu Reeves in this film got so much hate for this film. He got crapped on for this role. I know he was nominated for Worst Actor for this film, but he lost out to Barry Pepper for Battlefield Earth, thankfully. I don't really understand why Keanu Reeves got so much hate for this. I really don't understand why people hate him in this film. I think he does a great job as the killer. Now, there's I know when you listen to the backstory about this film, about the production, basically, I've heard two different sides of the story, but I don't know which one's more true. If anybody knows out there, they can feel free to tell me. But one part of the story I heard is that Keanu Reeves wasn't really interested in this film because of the script. But then what ended up happening is that one of the like a person that he knows ended up forging his signature on the contract, so he had to do it. So that's like one story I've heard, and then the other story I've heard is Keanu Reeves' character. Keanu Reeves only agreed to be in this film because as a favor to the director, and the reason why he agreed to be in this film because at the time when Keanu Reeves' name when he first got attached to the project, it was a low budget movie, so Keanu Reeves kind of took a low pay because it was such a low budget movie, and Keanu Reeves' character was only going to be in flashbacks. He was only going to be in a cameo, so he was only going to be in it for a tiny little bit, not much. So he was only going to be as a cameo in flashbacks. So that's why it was such a low budget movie and all that stuff. Then what ended up happening is that because Keanu Reeves' name was attached to the film, they got a bigger budget than they were expecting. They hired bigger names, so Keanu Reeves kind of got stuck with the low pay, and he kind of got screwed because it was a low budget film to begin with, and then it got a bigger budget because of his name being attached to it, and then that's how they got James Spader aboard. But then Keanu Reeves just decided to do the film because he didn't want to risk of backing out of the contract and violating the contract and going through the whole hassle of violating his contract. So he only agreed. So he did the film anyway. And for a guy who did not want to be in this film, I think did a really, really great job as the killer. Keanu Reeves in this film, I'd probably say this is his most underrated film and his most underrated performance. You know, I'm a big fan of Keanu Reeves as an actor. You know, the Bill and Ted films, Speed, the John Wick films, the Matrix films, Constantine, The Devil's Advocate. You know, I'm a really huge fan of Keanu Reeves. This is without a doubt his most underrated film and his most underrated performance. I think Keanu Reeves does a really great job in this. Even for a guy who did not want to do this film, he did very, very well in this film, in my opinion. Now, I will admit, though, the way they introduce Keanu Reeves' character as the killer, they don't really get off on the right track because the way they introduce Keanu Reeves' character is kind of weird because they show him like doing this really weird dance to this Rob Zombie song. You know, it's kind of a weird way to open up about the killer. It's kind of a weird way to introduce him in the film. I will admit that. There's a scene though in the film where I think what really should have been the opening to his character is when Keanu Reeves' character is talking to himself in the mirror as if he's talking to James Spader's character, and it's really creepy and things like that. And I really think that should have been the introduction to his character. But Keanu Reeves as the killer does a really great job, and Keanu Reeves was really pretty creepy in this film, especially like some of the scenes where, like when he captures one of his victims and he's doing like this really slow dance thing, and he's dancing with the women, and really this slow dance, and it's really creepy. I love the way Keanu Reeves is so underrated in this film. I think he does a really great job, and I think that this film it gets hated on so much, and I really don't understand why. It's a very solid flick. I think the cast works really, really well together. I think this film did not do that well when it came out, because I know originally, like I said, it was a low budget film, but then it got a bigger budget, and it cost around $33 million, give or take. And worldwide, it only made $47 million worldwide, so this film did not do that well at all. And I believe this came out, in October of 2000. I could be wrong on that. But I like what this quote says here on the back from the Fort Lauderdale Sun-Sentinel. Strap yourself in and enjoy the ride. I do agree. And even Richard Rober of Ebert and Rober liked this film, called it a superb thriller. And I have to agree. I do enjoy this film. James Spader is really great as your good guy. Keanu Reeves as the killer is very, very good. He's very underrated in this film. Marissa Tomei does a fine job. Ernie Hudson, a little bit that he has, he works as part of the cops. He does a fine job. I think the musical score by Marco Beltrami is a really pretty good musical score. This is the same guy that was a longtime friend of Wes Craven, so he worked on a lot of Wes Craven's movies, including all the Scream films. I think he worked on Red Eye as well. And he also did the musical score to another underrated serial killer film, The Minus Man, with Owen Wilson. And I don't think the director, Joe Charbonnac, really went on to do much after this, because this film didn't do well. But I happen to really like this film. It's very, very underrated. It's an underrated gem. I know not many people are going to agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. I know there are people that are not fans of this film. But I do like this film a lot. James Spader's really good. Keanu Reeves especially. He's easily my favorite part of the whole movie, Keanu Reeves. I think he does a great job as the killer. And for a guy who didn't want to do the film, I think he did really well. I like Marissa Tomei. I like Ernie Hudson. I like the music. You know, and the whole finale is really intense as well. But I don't want to give too much more away about The Watcher. If you like Keanu Reeves and if you want to see a kind of a different kind of role from Keanu Reeves, I say give this one a look. At least give it a chance. So there you have it. That is my review for The Watcher. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.